How's it going, everybody? So we're back out in the shop with another Shop Talk Tuesday, and in this episode we are doing some more of the Forge series. Now in this episode we're going to focus on a knife that I'm calling the Cowboy's Chef's Knife. When it's all said and done, it's going to be a more traditional style chef's knife, but with an antler handle. I don't really see many of those, especially the way that I'm going to do it with a through tang. It's just going to be a cool overall knife, and I think that it just reminds me of something that maybe a cowboy would use if they were cooking. So in this episode, this is going to be a two-part series. Now in the first part, which is this episode, we're going to be focused on the blade, and then in the next episode, which will be coming up next week on Tuesday, we'll be focusing on the handle. The handle construction is going to be a little bit more complicated than what I typically do, so I wanted to dedicate an episode to it, but in this episode, we're going to focus on the forging part of the blade. We're going to get the blade ground out. We're going to get the finish put on it and go ahead and call the blade done in this episode. But as for right now, go ahead, sit back, relax, watch the forging process, and enjoy the video. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll go through and take my just a regular file before I actually file test it, and I will go through and file down the edge and get rid of that decarb layer until it starts skating like that. And then I know that all that decarb's off. So then I'll go through with something like my 65 HRC file. And then I'll test it. And that's skating with me actually putting a lot of pressure into it. But sometimes you'll get a false sense of your blade being not hardened because you go straight from the quench to 65 HRC file and it grabs and you're like, holy crap, I need to requench this. And then you go through requench and risk warping your blade and doing all that, when really all you needed to do was go through and file or grind off that edge. Now the reason why I like to use a file, because again, I wait until it starts skating and then I know it's done. If you use a grinder, you're not really gonna know when you hit that point. You might remove too much material or not enough. So just take a good file on it until it starts skating, and then file test it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this Shop Talk Tuesday up here underneath these awesome lights. I've got LED lights in the whole entire shop now, and they're all motion censored, so every once in a while they'll turn off unless I actually flip a switch and make them just on. But I like the fact that they're motion censored, so they're not in use whenever I'm not in here. And when I walk in the door, boom, they automatically turn on. But we have nice light in here now. I love that. I don't have to focus on putting lights all over the place, which I still will whenever I need to. But when more or less, I mean, that workbench is fully lit up, where the anvils are is fully lit up. I just love that. These are just real cheap lights from Walmart too, which is really cool. Now, when it came down to it with this particular knife build, I am calling this the Cowboy Chef's Knife, more or less because of how rustic it's gonna look with the whole brute de forge finish going on the top right up there by the spine and the little ricasso area. It's got that nice brute de forge, hammered forged finish. And now with it having that finish and an antler handle, which you don't really see many chef's knives with antler handles, I think that it kind of fits what I'm calling it, but I'm gonna let y'all kind of decide. Do y'all think that it makes sense calling it a Cowboy Chef's Knife? Do any of y'all cowboy for a living? And I know that some people don't know that that's a profession, but it actually is, and it still exists. We've got a lot of them in Texas and Oklahoma. I sell them RVs all the time, so I know that that's still a thing. And whenever I run into one of them, I'm gonna show them a picture of this and think, or ask them what they think about it. But I do want to know what y'all think. Do y'all think that, because it's kind of a classic chef's knife profile, and then with the antler handle that it's going to have on it, which of course we're putting on next week, on next Tuesday's Shop Talk Tuesday, it's all going to be focused on the handle. This is only going to be a 2-part series. Blade in this one, handle in the next one. That's going to be done. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think that kind of fits the bill of what I'm calling it? Would y'all change something on it? I'm always interested to know that. Now, of course, this is going to be a through tang chef's knife. So it's a through tang that's going to have an antler handle. It's going to have nickel, silver, and copper, like actual spacers in the front and in the back. And then, of course, painted over tang. And those spacers are going to be a cool hammer finish. There's going to be a lot going on in the handle, but it's going to look very simple all at the same time. I think it's going to look really unique. But as for right now, that's the actual blade. What did we do with it? We forged it out of a piece of 5160 leaf spring. Then we went ahead and did the whole heat treat process. Well, a little bit of profiling, and then some heat treat process. Got all that done, and then tempered it, and then went ahead and got on the 2x72 a little bit, ground it down just a hair. There's not much grinding that needed to be done. Now watch. So there's not much grinding, I love that needed to be done, but we did go ahead and do that. Then I put kind of a satin finish on it with the Scotch-Brite belt. I think that it stands out. I think it looks really cool. But what do y'all think? Y'all like that profile? Let me know. Comment section down below. Same thing if you're a cowboy, and do you think you would use this? Now, of course, it'll make more sense when you see it the next episode when it's nice and done. But as for right now, blade's done. We'll do more with it in the next episode. Guys, make sure y'all give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment, all those things, help algorithms and stuff like that. Y'all have an amazing day. Y'all stay safe out there, and I will catch y'all next time.